All right, welcome back to our series on web design with HTML and CSS. In this episode, we're going to talk about lists. So we're going to learn how to write ordered and unordered lists. We're going to learn how to style lists, and we're going to learn how to write a nested list. So there's two basic types of lists, ordered and unordered. You see on the left-hand side, we've got an ordered list, 1, 2, and 3. Ordered lists are used to rank items or prioritize items or order tasks. They typically use numbers or letters so that you can see that there is a sequence to them. On the right hand side, you'll see an unordered list, which is usually bulleted. We use an unordered list when order is not relevant. Typically, they show up with bullets. We could make both ordered and unordered lists in HTML just by writing one, do this, two, do this, three, do this. But we've get the same benefit as a word processor if we create it as um, an actual list, because then if we delete or add items, it will automatically do the renumbering for us. So let's take a deeper dive into an ordered list. An ordered list is made up of two tags. You've got the OL element, which stands for ordered list, and the LI element, which stands for list item. List items have to go inside of OLs, or as you'll see later, ULs. An OL by itself doesn't do much. An LI by itself doesn't do much. Now, an LI is a block level element, so it does act like a div. It's got an automatic line break. It's the full width of the page. So if I use an LI without an OL, it kind of ends up being like a div. But when I use it inside of an OL, then it orders for me. By default, an ordered list will be numbered 1, 2, and 3. Very similarly, we have an unordered list. So in this case, we use a UL tag instead of an OL tag, and you'll see that the code on the right is very similar to what we saw on the page before. The display is only slightly different because instead of having 1, 2, and 3, we get these round filled in circles, these bullets there by default. Okay, so that's the basics of how we build a list. Now, when we style lists, we can use the CSS to change the style of our list. So, for example, if I want to do an ordered list that is going to be capital letters, then up in my CSS style, I write OL and I do list style upper alpha. Notice that it gets applied to the list type and not the list item. So all OLs will be upper alpha. You can see on the left-hand side, we have some options for ordered lists. We can do decimal, which is the default 1, 2, and 3. Decimal leading 0, upper alpha, lower alpha, upper Roman, lower Roman. There's a whole number of other examples, but this is certainly enough for now. When we talk about the unordered list, you'll see that we've got 3 options here. Again, there's other things that you can do. We have a disk, which is the default one, which is our closed circle. We have a circle, which is an open circle, and we have a square, which is a closed square. Okay, so a lot of times we want to nest a list, making something like this outline that you see on the right. This process can be confusing, but if you follow this step by step, you'll see it's actually easily achieved. So we're going to walk through how this actually happens. So the first thing that I do is I build the main list. This is the Roman numeral list. So you'll see on the left-hand side, I create an OL. It has 2 items, HTML and JavaScript. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build each of the subsequent lists under them. So under HTML, there's another ordered list, which is part 1, part 2. And under JavaScript, there's another order list, which is IO, controls, and methods. Then I go in and I build the next level in completeness. So under part 1, I build another OL of basics, text, and images. And under part 2, I build another OL of lists and tables. All right, so now I've got the structure. And by default, it's all going to show up as 1, 2, and 3. So now I need to do a little bit of styling to get this to work for us. So the first thing that I do is I style the first level of lists. So anything that's just in an OL is list style upper Roman. Then if I have an OL inside of an OL, which is this part 1, part 2, IO, controls, and methods, I want them to be upper alpha. And then if I have an OL inside of an OL inside of an OL, then I'm going to make that list style decimal. and that's when I'm going to get my 1, 2, and 3. All right. So on the left-hand side, you see the style. In the center, you see a segment of the HTML that we've been writing. And then on the right, you'll see the output that we are getting. So as a review, we've only learned 3 tags in this lesson: OL, UL, and LI. There's only one style, that's list style. So let's do a little bit of practice. I want you to create an ordered list using uppercase letters of your 3 favorite music artists or bands. And then for each artist or band, list at least 2 songs in an unordered list. So this is going to be a nested list, and you're going to use internal styles to do that. So take a break now and solve this problem. Okay, we're going to go on and look at the answer or the solution here now. On the left-hand side, you're seeing the style. I want the OL to be list style upper alpha, and then I want any ULs inside of an OL to be list style square. On the right-hand side, you'll see the HTML. So I started with my OL and I listed Billy Joel, Elton John, and Genesis. And then after each of those, I made a UL, Piano Man, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Crocodile Rock, Your Song, um, Invisible Touch, and Follow You, Follow Me. I hope this helps you in using lists in HTML. Join us next time in our next segment when we talk about how to create tables in HTML. See you next time.